Good evening to panel judges. My name is Gaseng, and this is my teammate, Wan Ting and Stephanie. So nowadays, when you walk around the street, you will see a lot of people that they wear various type of shirts. So today, imagine when you walk into this apparel store, when you're looking for a shirt. So just when the moment you step into their store, you will heard a phrase, "Welcome to Uniqlo." Yes, today we are discuss about the Uniqlo. So Uniqlo is one of the famous and hottest clothing brand in Japan, and Uniqlo was prepared to change its supply chain and prepare to penetrate the US and Europe market. So currently, they're unsure about whether the same model could be scaled worldwide. And looking forward, we envision a better future for Uniqlo, whereby able to scale up in US and Europe market. So the question today is, with its current business model, will Uniqlo be able to scale worldwide, particularly in Europe and US? The answer to that question is that for Uniqlo to penetrate into US and Europe market, Uniqlo needs to create awareness and restructure.
Before we talk about how they are going to penetrate in the global market, we will need to see what makes them so strong in the Japan market. First is because they stress on high quality. They have developed the Takumi team, which is to decrease the defect and to increase their efficiency over the whole supply chain and to better coordinate the entire supply chain. The Takumi team composed of technicians of Japanese garment industry, which have more than 30 years of experience in fabric cutting, sewing, and dyeing. The Takumi team will visit supplier 2 to 3 times per week to inspect on every production process, and they will inspect on every single SKU that the supplier produced. This shows that they stress on high quality. Second is because they charge at affordable price. They are able to do so because they reduce their number of suppliers from 120 to 40 suppliers. By doing this, they are able to order more in quantity, and by ordering more, they are able to achieve economy of scale. So they are able to charge lower price to their customers than their competitors. Third is because they focus on garments innovation. This is a lifetime philosophy that they are holding on, and by partnering with Toray, they are able to produce the heat tech fabric that can keep the customer warm and fresh. Besides looking stylish, the garments also will perform some functional. So, in order for them to achieve the success factors, they need to have a strong partners throughout the whole supply chain. So this is the first barrier for Uniqlo to go worldwide, because we need to see whether the current supply chain can be adapted in the global market. So let's have a look in the current supply chain. Apart having design and warehouse in Japan, most of their production outsourced to third countries like China, Vietnam, and Bangladesh. So currently, their lead time makes up a total of 6 weeks in their home country. So if they are about to adapt the same supply chain to global, there is a few negative impact that they would need to address. There is a total, if they adapt the same, there will be increase in total lead time to more than 6 weeks because of the location difference. And because of the location difference, they will incur a very high cost, especially for the transportation cost, to transfer their product from China to Europe. So this is the first barriers that they will need to overcome. The second barriers is the awareness. The growth of numbers of stores, as in US, they only managed to increase 22 stores per year, which makes up a total of 39 stores in US. UK, there is 10 stores, France, 8 stores, and Germany, 1 store. It shows that the presence of Uniqlo in these markets is very low, so it is the barriers that we need to overcome by enhancing their brand awareness. So by analyzing the supply chain and the awareness in Europe, we comes up with a few criteria that Uniqlo should do in order to further expand into Europe. First, they need to develop an efficient supply chain in order to reduce the lead time and to reduce the inventory on hand. Second, they need to maintain economy of scale and quality and to overcome high store opening costs in Europe. It is because by doing so, they can remain low cost and to charge affordable price to their customers. Fourth, they need to build awareness by collecting customer preference. By doing so, they can develop local know-how and they can cater their products towards targeting the consumer in Europe. So next, I would like to pass my time to my colleague to further elaborate on how our solution are going to tackle 4 of these criteria. Thank you.
Okay, so the first strategy is to create awareness in US and Euro markets, and building the awareness in the US and Euro market is to create a familiarity in the of the community in US and Euro market, so that when they want to buy a shirt, they will think about Uniqlo, and not to forget about the core value. Uniqlo, they have to remain low cost. So by doing that, to create awareness, we also must remain the low cost for which is achieving the economy of scale, and to cope with the high store operating costs in the international market like US and Europe. So how? Okay, firstly, Uniqlo, they can establish a new type of concept store, which is Uniqlo Express. So this Uniqlo Express is like a pop-up store concept, and it is provide trial experience on heat tech garments and affordable price to customer. But how they remain low price by doing this? Okay, so prior to this Uniqlo Express, they will first tracking the sales data from the existing outlet in US and Euro market, so that they know the specific best-selling or the famous brand in the famous clothing type in US and Euro market, so that they can order the huge amount from the supplier to achieve economy of scale, and to implement this Uniqlo Express work and deliver to each customer. Other than that, Uniqlo also can go for mass advertising by sponsorship, like marathon organized by some others parties. So this objective is to increase the customer awareness and positioning Uniqlo in customer mind. So the impact to this is the impact to the customer is that they can familiar about the Uniqlo brand, and for Uniqlo company, they can understand customer preference. So in future, if they want to create a new style fashion clothes, they know which to go, and they will deliver the value to customer.
So right now we'll move on to our second key strategy, which is restructure. So as mentioned by my colleague earlier on, she mentioned that in order to enable Uniqlo to globalize their market by penetrating into the US and the Europe market, they need to fulfill a certain criteria. And as for this solution, we're predominantly focusing on 2 key criteria. As for the first one, which is we'll let them to remain their low operational cost. And as for the second criteria will be Uniqlo will need to maintain the efficiency of their supply chain management system. And our objective for this solution, which is will enable them to reduce their total lead time in the short run by reducing the time taken for the employees to transfer the stocks from the inventory to the customers. And in the long run, we'll be able to reduce the total cost incurred for Uniqlo. So currently, as we mentioned earlier, the supply chain of Uniqlo currently has a very high lead time, which is around 6 weeks. And as for now, we would like to start off by restructuring their design department, by incorporating the Japanese expertise team by transferring them from Japan to the US, in order to them to bring in the Uniqlo's philosophy, and as well as to monitor the quality control in the US market. And this will ensure that the core value of Uniqlo will be able to maintain in the new market. And secondly, we'll be hiring the local designers in the US because they have a very strong local know-how knowledge on the customer's preferences and the current trend that is going on in the market. So by hiring the local designers, we'll be able to cater according to the customer's needs time to time. And as for the second stage, we'll start to restructure on the procurement stage to the warehouse stage. So what are we going to do at this stage? We'll be acquiring the local raw material suppliers through vertical integration. So by doing this, we'll be able to obtain our raw materials in a lower cost, and there's no restrictions on how many products that we can produce in the short term, and this will enable us to achieve our economies of scale in the market itself. So by doing our restructuring plan on the current supply chain management system of Uniqlo, it will enable the Uniqlo to reduce their total lead time to the customers, and as well as the total cost that they are incurring towards their operations. And so moving on to the next stage, we'll be talking about our implementation plan for our solutions. So as for our implementation plan for Uniqlo, we have reserved a total amount of 3 years for us to implement our solutions. So for the first 2 years, we're predominantly focusing on building the awareness among the public. So how are we going to build the awareness among the public? So first, we started to sort out our targeted universities and malls for us to set up our Uniqlo Express stores for them to try out our products and as well as to sell the products to them. And as for the second stage, we started to sponsor the marathon events in order to increase the exposures of Uniqlo's products to the public, because we know that for any marathon event, there'll be a huge amount of public taking part in it. So when everyone is wearing Uniqlo shirt, it will concurrently increase the brand awareness among the public itself. So moving on to the year of 2018, which is roughly 2 years after our implementation on building the awareness, we'll start off to restructure our current supply chain management system by bringing in the Japanese expertise team into the US market. And they will be working together with our local designers to cater according to the needs of the customers. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you.
我忘记了，我没有讲到那个investing 还有 involve。